Howdy, folks. I'm 10 lackadaisical ladies, limberly dancing low limbos.
I'm Amber.
And here are more low limbos for us to dance to lazily, very lackadaisically. Which I think is a contradiction, but Amber disagrees. Let me know what you folks think.
Well, because I don't know where does it say lazily. Lackadaisically is just kind of like carefree. You can do a limbo carefree.
Maybe. Oh, also, a while back, Amber messed up the order of things.
Yeah, so it continues being messed up because, I didn't check the actual song lyrics beforehand. I was trying to go off of memory, and that was a bad idea.
So, all this talk about memory games, Amber. Well, meanwhile, Brian takes none of the blame at all.
Yeah, it's not like he could have checked or something.
No. I trusted Amber, and she misled me. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Giving My Daughter a House and Not My Son? Can't edit the title, Sons. I own 2 homes. The one I live in is in a nice area, and I plan on dying here. The second one was my mother's, and it needed work, but it's a very nice home. I made it clear that I will reward the kids if they help me fix it. I have 1 daughter and 2 sons. I truly thought my sons would help out, but they didn't, even when I asked. My daughter, on the other hand, went full force into fixing the home. At one point, I just gave her the keys and told her that I trusted her. The whole thing helped us bond more than ever, and she learned a ton of skills. I think that she tossed herself into this project to distract herself from her ex. Anyways, it took about a year of doing work each weekend, and the home is looking great. Originally, I was going to sell it and give everyone that helped the money from the home sale, but she's the only one that helped. I know that she was looking for a house, and this spot is almost perfect. It's close to work, in a good area, and not far from her friends and family. I decided to give her the home. I called her down, and I had all of the paperwork ready. She was excited and happy. Now, I'm getting a lot of garbage from my sons about giving her a home. I made it clear that they didn't help, so why would they get anything from the house? They have both called me a jerk, that I'm a jerk for giving her a $700,000 home, and they got nothing. For my sanity, please look at the comments before asking a question that has already been answered. Edit, please read the comments. If no one helped, none of them would have gotten the money. I made it clear they would get a large amount of money if they helped. Alright, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. In fact, it would be unfair to let the sons profit off of the daughter's labor. Like, they were all told very clearly, you will get money if you help.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you get money no matter what. They were too lazy or otherwise occupied to do anything, and so now they just get to face the consequences.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that there might be a little bit of nuance here, but I think in general that this is, you outlined your very specific guidelines here. Your daughter was the only one who helped out, and whether or not it's a $700,000 home doesn't really matter, given that she's not selling it, she's living in it, right? So It's not that she's seeing this immediate profit or anything like that. Maybe she'll see some kind of profit in the future, but certainly she's not going to see any kind of profit in the short term. Now, as for whether or not it's right or wrong to give her money in compensation and none of your other children, it sounds like OP was planning on not giving children anything if they didn't help. And it seems like OP knows their circumstances better than anyone here, so I have to trust that they knew that their sons would have enough time and energy to be able to do something like this or help out. Now, I think that if your sons are basically strapped for time and they have no time at all, they're always running around, they just can't find the time to do anything, and it would be a undue burden to force them to help out during the weekend, that might be a little bit of a different situation, but it's not something that I can really judge or say what the right thing to do in that case is.
Well, I still feel like there should have been communication, and like maybe the project would have needed to have taken longer. But it sounds like they put absolutely no effort in whatsoever and just expected to reap the rewards.
Yeah, and that's what it comes across here. Let me know what you folks think, though. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Sarah Gill 42 says, on the surface, not the jerk, but this story doesn't give the context of what everyone's schedule looks like. Did your sons have the time to put in such a massive project? Do they live close enough where it wouldn't be a problem to get to the house to help out. Lots of details could swing this, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, maybe 6733 says, if someone is willing to give you a home for simply working on it, then you find a way to pencil in time. Or heck, they didn't live far away, they could have offered financial help for time and supply to put in. But no way should they be automatically entitled to OP's property. And Poincare's cook says, they probably assumed that she would get a maybe bigger share for putting up more work, not all of it, which would make sense if this was fair. Asking people if they just had a baby, had multiple kids, are in a critical time in their career, or live across the country to put as much effort as a person living nearby, single and childless, is insanely unfair. The father can do as he pleases with his property, but it seems like he doesn't care about his sons. And OP replies, oh, did my sons magically have kids? That's news to me. I swear to goodness, it's all over the comments. No kids. Which boggles my mind even more that you made this far down and you didn't see multiple people's mentions that there were no kids. My original comment about no kids is about 3 lines down. It's mind-boggling. And Poincare's cook says, I was not replying to you, but to a hypothetical scenario. And OP replies, how about you reply on the post and not to hypotheticals that has no point in discussion? Because you were clear when you said that I was not fair and claiming that I didn't care about my sons. So it was literally a hypothetical if you were making those claims. And another response from OP, they could have made time. Even coming down once a month would have been appreciated. They didn't do anything. They all work full time. None of them have kids. They could have made time. Well, and like I was saying above, it really depends on their schedules and stuff like that. And it sounds like OP is under the impression that they have plenty of time to work on this project.
Well, I do want to comment on the kids thing too. Like, it's irrelevant here because no one has kids, but I don't like the assumption that people who choose to have children should be able to get out of things, and the people who don't have kids should be expected to pull all the weight.
Yeah.
And then the people with kids can reap the rewards because they have kids. Like,
yeah.
having kids is a choice, and yes, it makes your life busier, but it's something that you have made a decision to do, and like your child-free siblings shouldn't have to bear the brunt of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Kicking My Husband Out for Cleaning Our Shower? I am a 31-year-old female, and I've been with my husband, a 36-year-old male, for 7 years now. We have 2 young kids and essentially no familial support. Since the pandemic, things have been extremely hard with just the 2 of us working, studying, and raising the kids. Myself and our youngest child especially have suffered several health issues and emergencies in the past few years, mine resulting in multiple surgeries. Notably, over the last year, I've gotten skin rashes and infections all over. I have always had nice skin and almost no problems my entire life until this past year. I've seen my dermatologist and my primary care physician several times to get treatments, antifungal creams, antibiotics, steroid creams. But these issues keep coming back, which has caused me severe stress trying to not only fix the issue, but wondering if I have more serious underlying issues causing this. My husband used to be very talkative, but the last few years I feel like he doesn't communicate with me. No matter how many times I tell him about an appointment for the kids, or how to do a certain household task, or essentially anything, he tells me that he doesn't remember me even showing him or telling him. I know that this is a huge red flag for weaponized incompetence, but he says that his therapist tells him that this isn't malicious, but that he's just burnt out and he's disassociating. So here's where I might be the jerk. Tonight, after our kids went down for bed, I laid into him about our marriage and relationship and household workload. I told him that I felt isolated and lonely. I mentioned that even in the roommate portion of our marriage, like chores, he only does things part of the way, which inevitably causes me to do twice the amount of work. He countered back and says that he cleans the shower almost every day. This shocked me, as I have never heard him using our power scrubber, and our hand scrubber is still in the packaging. When I told him this, accusing him of essentially lying, he finished with, I've been using your washcloths to clean the shower. I use washcloths every day on my face and every other part of my body. I definitely lost it, and I was crying and screaming at him, and I told him to leave the house, which he did. He wants to come back and keeps saying that it was a mistake, and that he didn't know or think about it, and I'm completely overreacting. He says that he doesn't usually use any cleaning products and just wipes down the shower with them. I mostly think that he is in the wrong. He works in the medical field as well and knows how much time I have been spending trying to fix my skin issues, even helping me apply my creams. How could he not know? But then again, maybe he's just burnt out and maybe this isn't as big of a deal as I think it is. And honestly, I empathize so much with how burnt out we both are, and part of me just does want to believe that he is tired, but I feel so angry right now. I genuinely want to know, am I the jerk? Alright folks, and there is a lot of additional context here. I'm not going to read the comments because there's a ton of comments here, but I will say this. 1, he is a doctor. 2, OP has confronted him in the past because he used to use OP's clothes to clean the shower, right? And OP's like, don't do this. And he has acknowledged, and OP has said in the past, would you like it if I used yours? And he's like, no, that would be gross. So he's aware that this is gross, right? There is not a shred of doubt in my mind that he is aware of what he is doing, right? And 3, as a medical professional, he should be understanding and aware of what this the definition of clean is and sanitary, right? If you are using these rags to wipe up mold and use chemicals every once in a while and whatnot, those rags aren't going to become fully clean. So I think this is really important to say, because if you are using washcloths to clean your shower and you're cleaning up mold and mildew and stuff like that, even if you clean them with sanitizer, there's still a chance that those spores are still going to exist on some level in the washcloth. And the chemicals, they will mostly wash out, but they might still have trace amounts left. And for something like contact dermatitis, which it sounds similar to what OP is experiencing, then you only need trace amounts of chemicals or mold or some exposure in order to set off a flare-up. So as a doctor, a medical doctor, he should know all of this stuff.
Yeah, there would have been an easy solution in that he could have bought some separate washcloths specifically for cleaning the shower, which is, I think, what most of us would have done.
Yeah.
And he, again, like, it's very clear, he wouldn't want his stuff used to clean it. He couldn't be bothered. He couldn't be bothered to buy washcloths. He insists on doing this every day, cleaning the shower every day, but can't be bothered to get the right supplies and just uses OP's stuff. Like, it's very clear that at a minimum he has very little regard for OP and her needs. And I understand being a medical professional is a stressful occupation and everything, but that doesn't mean you get to check out of the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And there are options. They could separate if it's too much being in a relationship, but to just keep treating your partner with so little regard and acknowledgement is just not okay.
No, it really is not okay. Oh. Amber has just tossed the Santa hat onto me because I think she wants some kind of Santa hat judgment. He gets no presents. He gets none. There are no presents coming to him this year. He'll be lucky if he has a family after all of this. I mean, who looks at their wife who's been suffering from skin conditions for the past year and doesn't have enough, self-awareness to reflect on, hey, maybe me using her washcloths to do some cleaning is not a good idea. So I really feel like he should have put 2 and 2 together. I understand that he's burnt out, but that's really no excuse to do something to somebody else's products that you would consider gross.
Well,
right?
And that's the thing, is even if he didn't put 2 and 2 together, if he wouldn't want to use his own products for it, he should not be using anyone else's for it.
Yeah. So this just feels like gross negligence. If it doesn't at all feel, it feels malicious, right? I mean, there's a point where something goes from just incompetence to maliciousness.
Right, and it may be that he's trying to get out of even more household responsibilities. So oh, well, I've been cleaning the shower, see? And then if he can't, him cleaning the shower gives OP awful skin issues, then that's one less chore, and that maybe he shouldn't do any housework. I do feel like it's verging into weaponized incompetence.
Well, I think the weaponized incompetence comes from the other areas of their life where he's not doing the chores well. And this is just one more example of him not doing chores well. But I don't think he did this so much as... I hate to be cynical here. This feels like something you do to somebody that you want to get back at, right? It's I think that he, on some level, potentially is getting back at his wife, right? Aha, like the person who uses someone else's toothbrush to scrub a toilet, right?
Yeah, like he resents something about their relationship. The fact that she did, like asks him to pull his weight even though he's a doctor.
Yeah. So this just feels malicious. Maybe it isn't, but if I were OP, I would divorce him and I would sue him for essentially negligence is at this point in time. The OP has undergone surgeries, right? And maybe he isn't fully responsible for her skin issues that she's having, but chances are he's partially responsible. And I think that if you were to look at the evidence and get the washcloths, tested and see what's going on with them and find out that, oh yeah, by the way, these washcloths are contaminated with chemicals or they're contaminated with mold, and this is directly due to your husband's actions, then you actually have probably a case for some kind of case against him. I don't know.
Well, another thing about mold is that, and it might be true for cleaning products too, is that allergies can intensify over time. Like the more you're exposed to mold, the worse your mold allergies get.
Yeah.
So by constantly having her face exposed to the mold every day, like he could have taken what was like a mild issue and like really blown it out of proportion.
Oh yeah, yeah. So again, this does not seem like a good situation, and I think that OP, for their own health and safety, needs to get out of this relationship. He's done this before in the past with her clothes. He's going to do it again in the future. OP, just cut your losses at this point in time. This is not a good man.
Well, and like she told him not to use, which I don't know why you'd use clothes to clean a shower anyway, but like the fact that she had explicitly told him not to, and his next thought is, okay, I'll just go to her washcloths. Like, again, it just shows that he has absolutely zero regard for her well-being or even her comfort, any of that stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that he acknowledges that it would be gross to use his stuff just feels even worse here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck, OP. I hope you can get away from this man. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. Amber, and she has a joke.
First monster. Madame, your son is gruesome, gross, and disgusting. Mother monster. Junior, thank the man for all his nice compliments.
Of course, of course. Monsters like being displeasing to the eye. It's like opposite day. So if you were in Monsterland and someone was like, "You're horrifyingly ugly," that's a compliment. So just remember that, folks. Somewhere out there are monsters running around insulting each other with compliments. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But I do have Earl Grey. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Happy Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it the letter E.
E. That's moral advice in bat language.
Yes, I suppose it is. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.